All right, guys, we are back with our second video in the countdown to the 2024 Chicago Pinball Expo. And this time I'm bringing you something interesting. This is a newer company, and they debuted their recreation of a 1970s classic ring toss earlier this year. It will be available at this show to play. They are marketing this machine towards uh, both operators of arcades and other places like bowling alleys, all that fun stuff, as well as home arcade customers. The uniqueness of this machine, I think you'll see once we take a look at it. It is pretty interesting. It is a mostly mechanical machine with essentially one mechanism, which makes maintenance easy. But is it fun? Is it something people are going to want to play? I got to say, I've never experienced one of the original ring tosses in person. I've only seen videos and pictures of it. So it'll be real interesting to see how people take to this machine at the Pinball Expo. But I did want to share it with you because it is one of the more unique games that really is kind of making a public debut at the show. And so we are diving in to Skyscraper Novelties Cornhole. So let's take a look at this game.
Round one.
As you can see, it is two-player. It's kind of got that simulated uh, old style of mechanical scorekeeping. The control here is that simple, that spinner. That's really it. And it's your traditional bags. You might play at any tailgate or a backyard barbecue. So this is something that may go well in a bar or a bowling alley. You can see the finesse here is exactly what you see. You're spinning this thing, trying to throw the bag in the hole for points. I believe it supports up to 4 players. So there you go. It's got tournament mode apparently. High scores. Appreciate these guys drinking their beers and rocking their beards. But these people in the actual game. So there you go. That's Skyscraper Novelties Cornhole. Of course, this is like an homage to the 1970s era ring toss, which had the same mechanism, really the same look and design. Of course, there's ordering information. Not much more to it than that. I thought this was one of the more interesting. This is probably one of the more interesting uh, items that will debut at the show. It's yeah, trying to be somewhat positive about it, right? I don't want to crap all over this thing. It's not my cup of tea. It is interesting. Obviously, they took a classic game and put their own spin on it with ring toss and our classic of ring toss with cornhole. It is interesting that they actually went with the cornhole name as opposed to bags or the the makers of Golden Tee. Of course, they had their Target Toss Pro, which was a very similar type of game. However, it was a much more arcade like game played with the trackball. And honestly, that game is a ton of fun. I don't know how this spinner mechanism and kind of that cartoony old school vibe look of the screen and the characters is really going to play in a modern audience. I believe the target retail price of this thing is around $4,500, so it is not cheap. It's a pretty pricey piece of equipment. But again, we'll take a look at this at the expo, get a chance to play it, and take it through its paces. I'm interested. What do you guys think about cornhole from skyscraper novelties? Like I said, I'm when I first saw it, I was like, "Well, that's interesting, right?" So it is certainly interesting to say the least. So, like, comment, subscribe. I really would like to know your opinions about that one, and we will be back in another episode to take a look at some of the more exciting things we should be able to see at the Chicago Pinball Expo, and we would love to see you there. And if not, definitely join us online throughout the expo. We will be dropping vlogs, videos, interviews. We will be going live at our normal time on Saturday night from the expo. So, hope to have lots of content for you throughout that entire week. And of course, leading up to it, we will continue to look at the highlights and things we anticipate at this show and are looking forward to. So, until next time, have fun.